Breaking news. An extraordinary moment has just unfolded on the world stage. Filipino teenager Reyna has stunned the globe, capturing the coveted Global Oratory Prize and making headlines everywhere. Newsrooms are abuzz and the world is watching as a new star rises from the Philippines, her voice echoing far beyond her homeland. In a world that often measures worth by privilege, where opportunities are not always equally distributed, a new voice has broken through the noise. Reyna, a young girl from humble beginnings, has shattered expectations and proven that talent, passion, and determination can transcend borders and barriers. Reyna's victory isn't just about winning a competition, it's about daring to believe in yourself when the world says you can't. It's about standing tall in the face of doubt and finding the courage to speak your truth, even when your voice trembles. Her journey is a testament to the power of self-belief, and the magic that happens when you refuse to let others define your limits. She proved that where you come from doesn't define how far you can go. From the quiet corners of her rural hometown to the dazzling lights of the international stage. Story is a reminder that dreams are not limited by geography or circumstance. She has shown the world that greatness can emerge from the most unexpected places. Her journey began far from the international stage, in a small community where dreams often felt distant and opportunities seemed out of reach. In a place where resources were scarce, but hope was abundant, Reyna nurtured her passion for words and ideas. She practiced her speeches in the quiet of her modest home, fueled by the encouragement of her family and the dreams she held close to her heart. Reyna's triumph is a victory for every child who's ever been told their voice doesn't matter. It's a beacon of hope for those who have felt invisible, unheard, or underestimated. Her success has inspired countless children in her community and beyond, showing them that their voices too can reach the world if they dare to speak up and believe in themselves. This is a story about resilience, hope, and the power of one authentic voice to change the world. It's about the sacrifices made, the late nights spent practicing, the unwavering support of loved ones, and the unbreakable spirit that refuses to give up. Reyna's journey reminds us that every great achievement begins with a single step, and a voice willing to be heard. Let's travel to where it all began, and meet the girl who made a language not her own, her own. We'll discover the roots of her passion, the challenges she overcame, and the dreams that fueled her rise. In the heart of her community, surrounded by those who believed in her, Reyna found the strength to reach for the stars. Reyna's story will make you want to stand up and cheer, not just for her, but for the potential within us all. Her journey is a celebration of courage, perseverance, and the belief that one voice, no matter how small, can inspire a world of change. So join us as we follow Reyna's footsteps and witness how a single moment on stage became a movement of hope for millions. In the quiet town of San Isidro, surrounded by rice paddies and mango trees, lived Reyna. Her family had little, but they shared an abundance of love and belief in each other. Reyna's curiosity set her apart. She listened to elders' stories, birdsong, and the crackle of the family's old radio. Through that radio, she fell in love with English, a language that became her secret world and her destiny. She dreamed of speaking it fluently, of sharing her stories with a world far beyond her small town. For Reyna, English was the key to doors she hadn't even imagined yet. In the Philippines, English is taught in schools, woven into the curriculum from an early age. Lessons echo through classrooms every morning, with teachers carefully enunciating words and students repeating after them, eager to please. English is seen as a bridge to opportunity, a key to a future that promises more than what the present can offer. Yet, for many in rural areas, English isn't the language of laughter at home, or the words whispered between friends. It's not the language of comfort, but of textbooks and exams. At home, families speak in their own dialects: Tagalog, Cebuano, Ilocano, languages that feel like warm blankets, familiar and safe. English, by contrast, can feel distant, almost foreign, reserved for formal occasions or official documents. There's a deep insecurity that lingers in the air. Many students worry that their Filipino English is broken, that their accents and grammar mark them as less than. The fear of making mistakes, of being laughed at for mispronouncing a word or using the wrong tense, can be paralyzing. It's a silent pressure, one that makes students second-guess every sentence before it leaves their lips. At Reyna's school, most students saw English as just another hurdle to clear, another subject to pass. They sat quietly, afraid to speak up, worried that their words would betray them and invite ridicule. The classroom, meant to be a place of learning, sometimes felt more like a stage where every mistake was magnified. Reina's passion for English set her apart. She loved the rhythm of new words, the challenge of expressing herself in a different tongue. But instead of admiration, her enthusiasm made her an outsider. Classmates teased her for trying too hard, for sounding funny or different. They mimicked her accent, laughed at her attempts, and whispered behind her back, making her feel isolated in her own pursuit. Even some adults doubted her. They saw her dreams as impractical, urging her to focus on more realistic goals, ones that would keep her close to home, grounded in tradition. Why chase foreign dreams? They'd ask, their voices heavy with concern. Why not focus on what's here, what's certain? But every time Reina practiced, whether in front of a mirror or curled up with a book, she was pushing back against the belief that English was not meant for her. She repeated phrases, corrected her own mistakes, and read stories aloud, determined to make the language her own. Each word spoken was an act of quiet rebellion, a step toward a future she could see, even if others could not. Inside, a quiet fire burned. Reina was determined to prove that her voice, with its unique accent and cadence, was just as valid as anyone's. She wanted to show that English could belong to her, too. That it wasn't just for those who spoke it perfectly, but for anyone brave enough to try. Reina wasn't trying to be someone else. She wasn't trying to erase her roots or forget where she came from. She was trying to become herself, to grow into the person she dreamed of being, one word at a time. Her journal filled with hopes and goals, each entry a testament to her determination. The chorus of doubt was heavy, echoing in the hallways and in her mind. But it couldn't silence her. With every step she learned to block out the noise, to focus on her studies and her dreams, letting her determination drown out the skepticism around her. Her journey was just beginning. With hope in her heart, and her eyes set on the horizon, Reina stepped forward, ready to carve her own path, one where her voice, in any language, would finally be heard. Despite teasing and limited resources, Reina's determination only grew. She devoured every English book in the tiny library, scribbling new words into a tattered notebook. The family radio became her teacher. She mimicked news anchors, deciphered pop songs, and practiced late into the night. Her parents supported her in every way they could, saving for radio batteries and listening to her read aloud. Without internet or tutors, Reina made the world her classroom, practicing English with stray dogs, narrating chores as if she were on TV. She wasn't just learning a language, she was living it, weaving it into her daily life. Her resourcefulness and passion gave her voice a unique power. This connection to English would set her apart on the world stage. Every journey needs a mentor. For Reina, it was Mrs. Santos, her high school English teacher. Mrs. Santos saw English as a tool for connection, not just grammar, and recognized Reina's passion. She gave Reina extra materials, stayed after class, and encouraged her to share her ideas. One day, Mrs. Santos handed Reina a flyer for the Global Youth Oratory Competition. Reina was terrified. Competing against elite students seemed impossible. But Mrs. Santos's belief was unwavering. "You don't just speak English, you feel it. Your voice has power." Those words ignited a new determination in Reina. The idea was daunting, but she couldn't let down the one person who truly believed in her. With a trembling yes, Reina's journey to the world stage began. Preparing for the competition was like climbing a mountain with no gear. Every step forward felt heavier than the last, as if the world itself was testing her resolve. Reina, a young girl from a small Filipino town, faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable. The path to the world stage was not paved with privilege or comfort, but with grit, hope, and a stubborn refusal to give up. The theme was, "My voice, my identity," a powerful call to speak from the heart. Reina knew what she wanted to say, but shaping her thoughts into a world-class speech was daunting. She spent countless hours staring at a blank page, wrestling with words that never seemed good enough. Each sentence was a battle, each paragraph a small victory. She wondered if her story, her voice, could ever stand out among so many others from around the globe. That's when Mrs. Santos, her English teacher, stepped in. More than just a mentor, Mrs. Santos became her coach, refining every word and teaching her to connect with an audience. She listened patiently, offering gentle corrections and encouragement. Together, they dissected every line, searching for the perfect way to express Reina's truth. Mrs. Santos taught her that a great speech isn't just about flawless grammar or big words. It's about heart, honesty, and the courage to be vulnerable. Reina had no internet, no fancy resources. Her stage was a dusty classroom, her audience empty chairs. While others might have practiced with cameras or crowds, she rehearsed in silence, letting her words echo off bare walls. The creak of wooden floors and the rustle of the wind through open windows became her soundtrack. She imagined faces in the empty seats, picturing the world listening to her story. Doubt crept in. She worried her accent would make her a target for ridicule. Sometimes, the fear of being misunderstood or laughed at felt overwhelming. She questioned if she belonged on such a grand stage, if her voice was strong enough to carry her dreams. The pressure weighed on her, and there were moments when she wanted to give up. But Mrs. Santos never let her forget her worth. "Your accent is not a weakness," she told her. "It's your history. Own it." Those words became a lifeline, a reminder that her uniqueness was her greatest asset. Mrs. Santos helped her see that her story mattered, not in spite of her background, but because of it. That was the turning point. Reina realized her goal wasn't to sound like someone else, but to be the best version of herself. She began to embrace her accent, her story, and her roots. She stood taller, spoke louder, and let her true self shine through. The fear that once held her back was replaced by a quiet confidence. She practiced relentlessly, letting her story, and her truth, shine through. Every day after school she stayed late, repeating her speech until her voice grew hoarse. She poured her heart into every rehearsal, determined to make her message resonate. The empty classroom became her training ground, and with each practice, she grew stronger, more certain of her purpose. Authenticity, not perfection, became her strength. She learned to laugh at her mistakes, to celebrate her progress, and to trust in her own voice. The more she embraced her true self, the more powerful her words became. She realized that the world didn't need another perfect speaker. It needed someone real, someone brave enough to share their truth. The uphill climb was tough, but Reina was ready. She had faced her fears, conquered her doubts, and found her voice. With every step, she carried the hopes of her family, her school, and her community. She knew the journey wasn't just about winning, it was about showing the world who she truly was. The world was about to hear her voice, and this time, she would speak not just for herself, but for every girl who ever doubted she belonged on the world stage. The national competition in Manila was overwhelming. Elite students, polished speeches, and a world far from San Isidro. Reina felt out of place, her doubts louder than ever, but she remembered her family, Mrs. Santos, and the promise to own her story. On stage she began, "They say my English is broken. They say my accent is thick. But I ask you, what is a broken language?" She spoke of her home, her journey, and her identity, not as flaws, but as strengths. The room was captivated. She wasn't just a contestant, but a storyteller. Reina's authenticity resonated far beyond the words she spoke. She proved that the most powerful voice is one that speaks from the heart. Reina's performance sent shockwaves through the audience. She didn't just deliver a speech, she shared her soul. She won the national title, earning the right to represent the Philippines on the global stage. In London, the competition was fiercer, the scale overwhelming. Doubt returned, but Reina remembered her roots, her family, her town, her teacher. She carried their hopes onto the stage, her voice stronger than ever. Her message was bolder, amplified by her journey. When the winner was announced, "From the Philippines, Reina!" the world stood still. Tears streamed down her face as she accepted the award. It wasn't just a trophy, it was proof that her story and her identity were worthy of the highest honor. The girl from San Isidro had shown the world the power of authenticity. Reina's victory was more than personal. It shattered stereotypes and inspired a nation. Children who once teased her now practiced English with pride, unafraid of their accents. Her story became a beacon of hope, proving talent can blossom anywhere. Reina taught us that it's not the perfection of your accent, but the power of your message that matters. To anyone who's ever felt their voice doesn't matter. Your story is important. Your voice has power. Embrace your background, your accent, your experiences. They are your strength. Speak your truth with courage. The world is waiting to listen.